r/AskReddit. What simple life hack should everyone know? Sometimes changing your pillowcase daily can help with acne. I use a clean t-shirt over my pillow to accomplish the same effect. To add to this, a lot of people wash their face when they get up but not before bed. Washing before you sleep will help keep the pillowcase cleaner and prevent breakouts. You don't need to apply a ton of night cream or anything, just a medicated pad with salicylic acid will do. Your body will put moisture back on while you sleep, and you'll wake up with a less oily face. Do your morning routine, and make sure to add moisturizer as needed in the morning instead. Wash your sheets with unscented/sensitive detergent too. The perfumes are sometimes an irritant to the delicate skin on your face. Good advice. I'd just add that moisturizing is important for oily skin types too, as skin that lacks moisture will overproduce oils to compensate. Dry skin types will like a creamer, heavier moisturizer, while oily skin types will probably prefer something lighter. And always choose a gentle non-fragranced one. I usually put a clean towel on my pillow and sleep on it. That way I don't have to change the pillowcase often, and can put the new towel on and wash the used one. If you want to wear something white/light in color, wear underwear that matches the color of your skin, not white or light gray. It hides better under white than white does. Same principle works for your primer coat before you paint your walls. If you have a bright or intense color that you want to paint, using a gray primer will help your paint cover better than going over white primer. Imagine my horror when my first training bra was white and my skin is caramel. Seeing the outline in the mirror under my white uniform shirt freaked me out because I knew others would notice, even though my mom said it doesn't show because it's white. She is fair-skinned, but lady, I'm brown. Don't care how white she is, I'm white, German, English, and Dutch heritage, and white bras show through white shirts on white people. The issue is that nobody's told her they can see her bra. Read the 3 and 4 star reviews for the most reliable information on Amazon items. And 2-star reviews for books. Seeing what people dislike tells much. Try on your favorite to see. Update. To clarify, the idea here is that people writing 2-star reviews project their views and values when arguing that the book is bad for them. And when their views are opposite to yours, it may suggest that you might actually enjoy the book. Let's say you are into read mind-stimulating philosophy book, and a person writes something like, "This is boring. The writing is too complex. Ideas are difficult to follow. The language is too intricate. Quit reading after 20 pages." It may mean that it is what you look for. Honey does not go bad. If it has gone solid, it has just crystallized and can become liquid again with just a little heat. Put the container of solidified honey in a container of hot water. Put it in the microwave once. It worked but made the bottle bed depressed. So many people throw out perfectly good honey when it gets crystallized, while my favorite type of honey is crystallized. If you accidentally have caps lock on, instead of deleting it and starting over, you can highlight the caps and hit Shift and F3 to switch it back to lowercase. Alt plus F4 also helps remove the errors. To confirm which circuit breaker is associated to an outlet, plug in an old radio and turn the volume up before you flip the circuit breaker. You can also do this with a vacuum if you are like me and don't have a radio. Can I do this with a new radio? Most newer radios have an electronic power button and have to have power before they will turn on. Whereas old radios will have a mechanical switch, so they can be put in the on state without power and will turn on as soon as power is supplied. Glue a tiny mirror over the picture of you on your driver's license so when you hand it to the police, they get confused and arrest themselves instead. Cops hate this one simple trick. Buy anything you'd need in your kitchen from a restaurant supply store. Anything, plates, glasses, pans, etc. There are a few online that sell to consumers. Those $8.99 tongs at a box store are like $1.30. A 16-ounce mason jar glass that sells for $3 to $4 a piece can be bought as a 12-pack case for $8.55. Oneida china plates that sell for $345 a case for $57. I just bought a 2-foot by 2-foot wooden butcher's block cutting board that would have been close to $400 for $55. If you put something down temporarily, say out loud, "I've put the screwdriver by the microwave," or whatever. This engages many more areas of the brain, particularly the language centers, which creates a richer memory, making it less likely you'll forget where you put it. In a similar vein, I will say it out loud: "When I turn stove burners off, unplug my hair straightener etc. I've found this helps me eliminate those moments where I leave the house or am in bed and I'm suddenly like, did I leave that on?" My wife and I made this a ritual due to her OCD. Anytime we are going out, I'll say to her, "Hey, I unplugged the iron." Saying it in a funny voice helps too, because it's easier to remember that Shrek told her the iron was off. When moving house, always set up your bedroom/make the bed first, so when you're exhausted and just had enough you can fall into bed. Nothing worse than being exhausted and having to make the bed before getting into it. Also, if you have time, plan where do you want the furniture/boxes of your stuff in the house. Placing it in the right room straight away helps a lot. And number your boxes. Unpack the highest numbers first. Generally it's the stuff you were using up to the point you left. If you want someone to get more mad, you tell them to calm down. Also, call them champ. Also, call women psycho. They will definitely act more normal immediately. If it's your girlfriend/wife and you really want her to calm down, tell her she's acting like her mother and that her sister would never behave this way. You're going to sleep outside if you do this. Or with her sister. If you throw a house party where you, as the host, plan on getting quite drunk, start the cleanup while drunk. Trust me, waking up to a clean house when you're hungover is fantastic. Drunk you will barely remember, and sober you have so much less to worry about in the morning. Hungover me wants to know why drunk me put the cat in the dishwasher. Drunk me answers, the cat was dirty. And if you do it near the end of the night, a few others might just help out cause they are drunk too. Drunk me always starts cleaning near the end of the night. If I'm hosting, it's part of my duties and future me appreciates it. If someone else is hosting, they appreciate it and invite me back. Don't take life advice from internet strangers. Wait. Manners and general politeness will get you far and become the norm with but a small amount of practice. I'm not talking overboard, my lady, but a simple please and thank you with a genuine smile. I'll add to this. Be especially nice to receptionists. They are the gatekeepers. Whether you're there to interview for a job or attempt to sell something to the owners, if you are rude to the receptionist, you can kiss your chances goodbye. This applies doubly over the phone, where body language and facial expressions are non-existent. Make sure your tone isn't condescending, or else your message is going in the trash if it isn't mission critical. Source: am a receptionist. Interviewers always stop by my desk to get my seal of approval before moving forward in the hiring process. I have vetoed individuals for being rude/snobby and once for leaving a mess in the bathroom. My vote counts. If there's a jar or container you can't open, run the lid under hot water for 30 seconds. Dry it so you can get a good grip, then open. Never had this not work. Not necessarily a hack per se, but learn some basic knife skills. The amount of time you will save chopping vegetables a few times a week, minimum, for the rest of your life far outweighs the amount of time it takes to learn. Plus you can use the extra time to keep the kitchen clean, and that makes everything less stressful while you're cooking, and makes the cleanup faster as well. This went in a very different direction than I expected after reading knife skills. Tell that to my girlfriend, who insists that a butter knife can be used to cut anything. Squashed tomatoes suck. When you're in a group of people and they start laughing, see who looks at each other. People look at the people they feel closest to when laughing. And then there is me, who looks down. I love you too, Floor. This is the first time I've seen this properly stated. People often misquote the research and say people look at the person they are attracted to, but that's a misinterpretation. What you said is correct. It's the person they feel closest to. In the case of people in a relationship, it will probably be each other, which is where the confusion arises. Someone in a group might be attracted to you, but not know you very well, so be more likely to look at their friends. When you're cooking and the recipe calls for onions and garlic, don't put the garlic into the pan until the onion is nearly translucent. Garlic cooks way faster than onions do. If you throw them in at the same time, it won't taste as good / the garlic will burn. It literally takes 30 seconds for minced garlic to cook. Also, if you're a home cook, sharpen your knives often. On the topic of cooking, when a recipe calls for garlic, double the amount it calls for. Ditto for vanilla. Meanwhile, you can cut the sugar in most recipes by 1/3 easily, and sometimes 1/2. That way you're tasting the other ingredients, not just the sugar. Ugh, I hate that I forgot to mention that. Recipes are ridiculously miserly when it comes to garlic. When it comes to baking desserts, I'd say it depends entirely on the recipe. For example, with desserts like panna cotta, I wouldn't mess with the sugar too much, because it can end up tasting like vanilla and fat. I still think it's a good point about the sugar though. If you ducked up, admit it, unless you are talking to cops. But in most situations, just admitting how you were wrong and accepting responsibility is so much easier than trying to blame someone or something else, or make up an excuse. When you own the mistake, it puts the onus back on the other person to accept that, be mature and move on. If you try and deny or shift blame, it forces that person to examine those reasons, and if they are BS, come back at you, dragging the process out and leading to unpleasant callouts and confrontations. Always poop on company time. This way, at the end of the year, you will have earned like 2 work days paid by pooping. Hence you will be a professional pooper, and also less money spent on toilet paper at home. Plus, you don't do your best work when you're holding in your shit. Pooping at work is really in everyone's aligned interests. If you bring something to someone's house that you don't want to forget, put your keys with it, assuming you can trust the people there. Also, get a tile or similar Bluetooth device, so you never lose your keys or phone again. Tiles are game changers. Just remember to put a clap finder on the remote that finds tiles. Regularly change the oil in your car. On time. Do it. Will help it last longer. My first car I owned, when I lived alone, I had it for a full year before the guy I was dating asked me when I last changed the oil. You mean it has to go to the mechanic, even though it's working fine? Don't be like that, folks. You will often have to make decisions in life without being able to know all the information related to the choices. Being able to identify what you don't know is invaluable. It allows you to make assumptions and contingency plans if those assumptions fail. I want to slap every person that quips. If you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. You cannot function in life without making assumptions. The trick is to identify them as such, so that you can be better prepared when they are resolved. It sounds crazy, but talking to yourself helps in these scenarios too. Use yourself as a sounding board. Just hearing the thoughts out loud can add a new perspective, and in having the conversation with yourself, you need to think about what you want to say and why, and therefore you're opening yourself up to think about it in different ways. If you have a spare minute, or are just playing video games, or on a computer at home, Take a few minutes to just pet your dog, cat and really appreciate them. A phrase I heard somewhere just really stuck with me. Pets are only a part of your life, but you are your pet's entire life. Damn, where is my dog? Remember to say out loud, wherever you put your dog. You don't actually need to keep contact with your family. If a relationship with them causes any anguish, you're allowed to cut them out. Their failures aren't yours. Yeah, this is important. Don't let the overrated idea of being bound by genetics to be solid reasoning to keep toxic people in your life. I haven't talked to my dad's side of the family in almost a decade and have been a much happier person since. As soon as you wake up, drink 2 pints of water, about 1 liter. It will wake you up like caffeine and get you pooping in about 30 to 45 minutes, like clockwork. Then when you try to catch the train you gotta pee. I go to the bathroom 30 to 45 minutes later. You have to wake up earlier for that to happen. Then again when I get to work. Turn your bed mattress when you renew your blanket. Through time your mattress will deform, and that can make you sleep worse. Brush your teeth more thoroughly before bed, after you are done eating and drinking for the day. Morning brushing is important too, but more so for fresh breath, while evening cleaning will prevent bacteria from breeding and damaging your teeth and gums.